How are you guys doing today? AMG Mark here, and today I have the Mercedes Benz EQS SUV to present to you, and this happens to be the 580 model. Let's get into it. All right, so coming to the front of the EQS SUV, automatically you can see that this one has the AMG line, and the way that you know that is just by looking at the front bumper. If you look at the gas models, they kind of have that front air vent that you also get here with the electric vehicles. Coming over to the digital light system, it goes all the way across. Seems to be a trend with the electric vehicles, so no surprise there, but in my opinion, still looks very good. Now, noticing the front bumper, there's not really a grille here because the engine behind it is an electric motor. Funny enough to note that you can't even open the hood on this car because, again, you don't want to have somebody possibly electrocute themselves. So only mechanics are the only ones that are allowed to actually go under the hood of this vehicle. Now, coming back to the front, you also have a camera right here, which is used for the 360 view of this vehicle. Very nice touch. All right, so let's talk about what's powering the electric motor under the hood of this car. So for Mercedes, they put a 12-module battery pack under the car that gives you 108.4 kilowatt hours, which is used to power the 450 and the 580. Something else to take note of, when it comes to the rims on the EQS SUV models, you can only get 21-inch and 22-inch rim sizes, something that I did not know. All right, so let's talk about the charging when it comes to EQS SUV. You have 3 different levels of charging. You have the level 3, which is the slowest, which I would suggest you only use that for a plug-in electric vehicle. So something that runs on both gas and electric. This being a fully electric, I would suggest that you go level 2. And let me explain to you why. A level 2 charger could actually be installed into your home. So you could park your car at home and it will charge your car overnight from about 0 to 80%. The level option is what's included with Electrify America, which you get complimentary for 2 years. And what that does is charge your car in about 30 minutes from 0 to 100%. Usually I would not suggest going 100% though. You should keep it about 80%. That's the sweet spot. Another thing about the charging, when it comes to plugging in the vehicle anyways, Mercedes-Benz only has one port for you to charge your vehicle versus something like a Volkswagen products where you have an AC charger on one side of the car and a DC charger on the other side of the car. And the DC charger can only be used for level 3 chargers because that's the direct current charging port for the VW vehicles. Here for Mercedes, you just plug it all right in here. All right, so moving on to the interior of the EQS SUV. As you could already see, this one features the beautiful Hyper screen. I can't say anything bad about this screen. It is absolutely beautiful. They did an excellent job with the graphics. But let's go more into depth about the Hyper screen. So we're gonna go over here to the home section, right? And something cool about the EQS SUVs is you have an off-road option. So what that allows you to do is actually see what's going on underneath the vehicle. So it's called the under the bonnet feature. Let me just show you real quick. There you go. You can see what's going on under there. Got the underneath the bonnet view. Pretty cool, right? Back over to the driver's side, you will have a beautiful leather wrapped steering wheel, and you'll have a digital cluster here as well. And as you can see, the car is charged to about 94% and it's saying 266 miles. But with the recuperative braking feature, you could get up over 300 miles to a full charge on this vehicle. Speaking of recuperation, when it comes to recuperative braking features, you have 3 different settings. So you have a non-recuperative feature, you have a normal recuperative feature, and then you have a strong one, which basically when you take your foot off the gas, the car will start braking itself, which will charge the battery again. So speaking of the recuperative braking features, we have 4 different settings when it comes to that. You have a strong feature, you have an intelligent, you have a normal, and then you have a non-recuperative braking feature. More into detail about the recuperative braking features, the way that you access it is by going over to this paddle shifter over here. Once you hit it to the left once, it goes normal, then twice it's strong recuperation, which basically the strong recuperation, when you take your foot off the gas pedal, it will automatically apply the brake, which is sending energy back to the battery. But right back to the Hyper screen, let's talk about one more thing over here. We have the EQ feature, and what that allows you to do is see how far or how much the battery is charged on the vehicle. But something else it does is, let's say you're going on a trip, right? And you need to know where all the charging stations are. This is where you would come to map out a route that shows you where all the charging stations are for the EQs. All right, so in the back of the EQS SUV, I must say off the rip, I feel very comfortable back here. And honestly, it doesn't feel too different from being in the gas-powered GLS. Obviously, the interior bonnet or interior cabin it looks different from the GLS, but space-wise, I feel like I'm in the GLS. And when I will get to the dimensions of the GLS and EQS in a little bit. But continuing the interior of the EQS, we have one big panoramic roof here. But the way that it's set up here is that it's split into one for the rear and one for the front passengers. And they're pretty big roofs. The one back here is pretty big. The one up there is pretty big as well. So not too many complaints about the roof. I must say though, I do like it when they don't have them split. I do like it when it's just one full roof. That's the only thing I would ding about it. Something pretty cool about the EQS SUV, you do get standard power seats in the back, which is very nice. All right, so coming to the trunk of the EQS SUV, I know, please forgive all the stuff back here, but it's actually kind of cool because it kind of gives you an idea of how much stuff can fit back here. And some models, it's actually an option for you to get a third row back here. So just so you know, you can get a third row and still have some trunk space left in the EQS SUV. Something cool also is that you get two controls back here, which allows you to put down the second row. All right, so when it comes to the size of the EQS SUV, when we're talking about the length of the car, it's about 201 inches. So to put that in retrospect for you, the GLS SUV, the gas-powered one, is about 204 inches. And when it comes to the width, they're about the same width, 77 inches. This actually being 77.1 inches and the GLS being 77 inches exactly when it comes to width. If you found this video informative, please let me know below by liking, comment, or subscribing. Thank you for your time. Wait a second, did I just forget to tell you guys how powerful this car is? Sorry about that. This car has about 536 horsepower and 633 pounds-feet of torque and does 0 to 60 in about 4.5 seconds.